Hello creative souls, welcome back to my channel. Danielle Langin here, teaching you all things creativity and journaling. And today I wanted to teach you about creating a realistic timeline for your creative goals. So let's get into it. If you are anything like me as a creative, you have ton of ideas swirling around in your head, but it might not always be easy to implement those ideas, to take action on those ideas, and to even set a realistic timeline for those creative goals to be finished. Now, I really want to start this off with a disclaimer that I have been on this creative path for many years. I've had my coaching business for 4 years, and I was doing other creative side things long before that. So I kind of, at this point, have a sense of my own creative process and how long things will take me. But I just kind of wanted to give you a blueprint of how I approach my project planning, how I approach my goal setting, and how I create a realistic timeline for the things that I want to bring to the world. I have a bunch of other videos on project planning and visualizing your creative project, prioritizing creative projects, how to even figure out what projects you want to create and what your big vision is for your creative path, and I will link all of those up above. So once you have your creative goal in mind for this video, or your creative project, whatever you want to call it, those two terms can be interchangeable, I think. But once you have your creative goal in mind, I want you to intuitively choose a month that you want that project or goal to be realized. So let's say your creative goal is to start writing blogs every single week. Okay, great. At what month do you want to be writing those blog posts consistently every single week? Just intuitively choose a month. Don't have to really think about it. Just whatever the first month that pops into your head. But I will say that it is usually smart to give ourselves some kind of space for everything. So I like to plan things 3 months to 6 months ahead. So if I were choosing a month for myself, it would be 3 months from now or 6 months from now. Okay, so once you have a creative goal in mind, once you've chosen a date that's 3 months or 6 months out from now, I want you to think of 3 major milestones for this creative goal. So your milestones are going to be things that mark the next chapter in your creative goals path. So let's go back to the example of starting a blog. Milestones for that could be launching the blog, setting up a website, and coming up with ideas for blog posts. Those could be 3 major milestones. I said them in reverse order, but basically what would come first are the ideas, coming up with ideas for blog posts, setting up your website, and then finally launching your blog. So once you've determined your milestones for your creative goals, you're going to want to create inspired actions for each of those milestones. So what needs to be done? What inspired actions do you need to take leading up to each milestone? Maybe you don't have to necessarily do anything leading up to coming up with ideas for your blog, but there are inspired actions that need to be taken to set up the website. And then there are even more inspired actions that need to be taken to launch the blog. So really what we're doing here is we're taking 3 major milestones and then breaking it down into smaller pieces. And these bite-sized pieces are what's going to help you create a more realistic timeline, because you're not trying to figure out, how do I get all of this done at once? You're going to be able to look at it as pieces of a puzzle, and then you take all of those pieces and place them realistically and within the limits of your own bandwidth where they need to go. So once you have your milestones and your inspired actions, which is basically an entire to-do list, I want you to take your milestones specifically and I want you to place them on the calendar in between now and the date that you chose at the beginning. I want you to use self-awareness and discernment here to realistically decide how long each of these are going to take you and where they should be placed on the calendar between now and then. Are these things on your list going to take you weeks? Are they going to take you months? Are they going to take you hours? Are they going to take you days? Every single inspired action is going to take you a different amount of time, and each milestone is going to take a different amount of time to complete. So try to be really realistic with yourself here and think about your own time and energy and give yourself buffers where buffers are needed. What I mean by that is if you think it's going to take you an hour to write ideas for your blogs, then give yourself 2 hours. Always giving yourself a little bit more time than you really think you need, because things take longer than we think they do. But at the same time that you are being realistic and thoughtful and using self-awareness to make these realistic goals happen, I also don't want you to be afraid to stretch yourself a little bit and challenge yourself a little bit to reach these milestones maybe a little bit faster than you believe you're capable of. So once you have your milestones in your calendar, you might think it's a good idea to put your inspired actions and your task list in your calendar as well. I tend to not do that. I like to have it separate so that my calendar isn't like this whole huge to-do list with things to do every single day. What I use instead is a project manager. I've used things like Trello and Asana. Right now I'm using something called Todoist because I just found that it honestly works the best for me and my creative process. If you want me to make a video about my project manager and how I keep everything organized, definitely comment below and let me know. That is absolutely something that I'd be willing to make for you if it would make your process of keeping yourself organized easier. But what I like to do in Todoist is I like to create a category for my project. You could also do this in something like Trello. And then within that board, within that view of my project, I like to create buckets. So those buckets for me look something like to do or to create, work in progress, or currently creating. I like to use one called ready to launch if it applies, and then done. So basically you're just moving everything over into another bucket to keep yourself really organized and clear and knowing exactly what steps you need to take next. Okay, so that's all I have for you on creating a realistic timeline for your creative goals. Let's just briefly recap it. 1, you're going to choose a month intuitively, 3 months or 6 months from now. That's giving you 3 to 6 months to complete this creative goal. The next thing you're going to do is come up with 3 milestones for this creative goal. And then once you have your milestones, you're going to create inspired actions for each milestone. This is going to become your entire to-do list. Then if you would like to, you can put your milestones inside your calendar somewhere between now and the date that you chose at the beginning. And then you're going to take your milestones and your inspired action list and put that all in a project manager with some kind of bucket or category list so that you can keep yourself organized and you can keep the creative project or creative goal flowing towards completion. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos on creativity and journaling and creative projects and all things really exciting like that, then go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you here. Again, comment below if you want me to create a video giving you kind of tour on how I keep my projects and my creative goals organized in Todoist. And then just comment and say hi. I love talking to you. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what your creative goals are. And tell me if there's anything specific that you want me to create a video about.